What's good, y'all? It's the one and only King Cow 516 live in the mix, and this is the Switch Flames podcast. So we know today is NBA Media Day, and so we get all these interviews from players, coaches, execs. So it looks like it's going good so far. What we're going to focus on at the moment was this leak by The Athletic about the Lakers offseason. And so, to no surprise, the Lakers were big game hunting, and we know that they got a big fish this past offseason in Russell Westbrook. But in this athletic article, it kind of digs a little deeper into this whole offseason process where it was kind of like LeBron having his own little you know, superstar board of trying to figure out who he can get to come to the Lakers to help out. And kind of like this whole back and forth between Lakers management and LeBron on trying to figure out who would be the best addition. So behind the scenes, we knew that the Lakers had a deal for Buddy Hield on the table that they were looking to move forward with, and then kind of like at the last minute, the Russell Westbrook talks heated up, and they ended up going that direction. So we know that Russell Westbrook is now currently a Laker, but there was a couple other names that were interesting and that were kind of confirmed through this article. So some of these other names were Dame Lillard, which Dame was in a lot of talks this past offseason, being unhappy and things like that. Bradley Beal was another one. Um, these were potential guys that, were on the Lakers target. The Lakers had targeted. And then also DeMar Derozan. The other bit of news that came out with this now, which was a little surprising, was that the Lakers were in some talks with the Spurs about a possible sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan that included, if I could recall correctly, Kyle Kuzma and KCP in exchange for DeMar DeRozan and a sign and trade deal. But that never came to fruition. It didn't really get far. But DeMar DeRozan apparently was in a lot of talks with LeBron James on the side. But it looked like DeMar DeRozan did have a couple of hiccups in those talks, and he wasn't sure if the Lakers management and LeBron were on the same page as far as that goes. But I just felt that this was interesting, just a little behind the scenes kind of look into what went into the Lakers offseason. So basically, what really got them to push for Russell Westbrook was because out of all those guys, really, Russell Westbrook was the best playmaker, quote unquote. And if you look at it, yeah, he really is. I mean, the other guys can play make, but Russell Westbrook, compared to those other guys, is the best playmaker. And so it sounds like LeBron really valued that to play alongside that, which kind of confirms a lot of things, I've been thinking when it comes to this stuff. Number one, when LeBron won the title in 2020, with the Lakers, when they won that chip, LeBron was the starting point guard for the whole season. Now, remember during that season, you had COVID hit and it closed down for a while, and then it came back in the bubble. I believe that season, even though they had a little break in between, I believe playing point guard full time took a lot on LeBron, and I believe he was trying to not have to do that again. It's kind of like, okay, you proved that you can do it, and it was kind of like, I think for LeBron preserving his career in his last few years of however long he decides to play, I believe that playing off ball is going to become more and more of what he wants to do, because when he plays off ball, it's like he's picking his spots to rest, meaning that when he's on ball, you really don't get the same amount of time to rest. You still have to run the floor, but decision making is not just resting as far as your movements, but also resting as far as how you have to think it all through, from start to finish of a play. And so LeBron wants easier buckets, and he wants a guy that can make his life easy as well, so he doesn't have to work hard all the time to make something happen for other people and also make something happen for himself. If you look at this past season with Dennis Schroeder, Schroeder wasn't able to do that on a consistent basis. So a lot of pressure still felt on LeBron, and by the time AD went down in the playoffs, we saw what happened. It just the Lakers didn't have enough to go with LeBron to get the job done. So Russell Westbrook is extra insurance for that. But I find it interesting that this article is pretty much saying that, once they all kind of dived into all of it, they felt like Russell Westbrook was the best option. And I find that interesting just because this whole Westbrook transaction has really got all the media against it and downplaying that it doesn't fit. But my whole thing is, if these guys talked it out, and these guys are willing to try it out, then obviously these guys have an idea that it can fit and it can work. You understand what I'm saying? So this was just a thing that came out today. It was kind of interesting. We got a lot more to cover. We will cover in different videos. But let me know what you guys think about this story about, the Lakers targeting DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield, Russell Westbrook, Dame Lillard, Bradley Beal. Actually, Buddy Hield was kind of towards the end of this list. It was just kind of like what the Lakers ended up selling for, once they thought they couldn't get any of the other guys. And then it just happened they got Westbrook. But, they were big game hunting. So let me know what you guys think in the comment. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's your boy King Cal 516 signing off. This is the Switch Flame Podcast, y'all. Make sure you check out the website at www.switchflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter at Switch Flames. Definitely check out the Facebook page at Switch Flames Podcast.